Hey everybody, welcome back to the WahooWarrior channel. So I'm doing a follow-up on the medium machine gun video I did the other day because there's a couple aspects that I forgot to mention, and I was started discussing it in the comments section, and I realized I kind of meant to talk about a few more things, and then somebody pointed out something I didn't talk about at all, and I want to talk about that as well. In particular, Jeff Salzman and Romex Knight, they were talking about using vehicles, and I think also, yeah, Jeff Salzman, they were talking about using like a half track, or I think one guy mentioned a truck, moving a medium machine gun team, or multiple medium machine gun teams if they're playing American, and then using the machine gun on the truck and the machine gun from the medium machine gun team to establish a nice fire base. And I'll talk about that after this. And this is when I was kind of reviewing my video. After I posted, I realized I didn't really do a very good demonstration of kind of a medium machine gun working in tandem with an infantry squad. So I've got here our British medium machine gun team, which deployed in our deployment zone in the beginning of the game. I have just a small 7-man British rifle squad that started the game in my deployment zone, and through the course of the game, it went ahead and ran up behind the wall. So the savvy German player has a veteran squad of 10. It's a 10-man veteran squad, very tough. It has 2 assault rifles and a light machine gun in it. So he's looking at 130 points for the guys, 150 points for the light machine gun, and then a couple extra points for the assault rifles. So you're looking at 160-ish points against our 70 plus 50, 120. So right now we're tying up an extra 40 points that's used elsewhere on the tabletop with these kind of smaller units. And if you kind of repeat this theory with the machine gun team working with another squad as well, you don't have to go against one squad. You could have 3 against 2 of his and kind of tie them up, but we're talking about one-on-one. So they've got their order dice. The machine gun team started the game in his deployment zone, so it went ahead and went in ambush. It's a nice ploy if you don't have a target. That way if something comes available, you can either trigger your shot or you can go down to protect yourself. Once the rifle squad was forced to kind of run out because we're running out of order dice, it's now protecting that squad. You don't have to worry about the 1-inch rule because it's true line of sight. So if you did a tape measure from here to there, it's not going to be within the inch. And the groups I play with, they completely understand the elevation. So the Germans have an order dice, and they're going to do an advance order. Those guys on the run, they look like a pretty nice target. They do have a wall there. They've got a nice position, but we got a lot of firepower, so we're going to try to knock them out. So we're going to move our guys in. The savvy German player has his light machine gun up at the front, and then he's got some riflemen. He's kind of bunching up here, but there's really no HE over on this side of the board. It is a good, it is good to get in the habit of spacing your guys out, though, unless you don't need to worry about the range like these assault rifles. There's no really reason for them to be up towards the front, so you might want to try to space your guys out. Just get in a good habit so you don't get caught by an HE shot that you didn't see. So they come in. Now if you're more than 2 inches outside of the cover, you're going to end up suffering a penalty. But there's 2 assault rifles and a loader back there, so it doesn't. And there's maybe 1 rifle there, so he would probably not quite be in. But it's not going to matter for the soft cover anyway, because we're already taking a hard cover modifier. Once you're in dense terrain, you can see out of it. So since these guys are in the open, it might be important where I put that guy, but you don't stack the modifier, so it's no big deal. So they're coming in, they're going to open fire, but hold on a minute, we're going to trigger this ambush. So by triggering this ambush, we just need to score 1 hit on that squad, and they're going to be shooting at a -1 because they've already placed their order dice, so they don't clear this pin. They're on an advance order. We're trying to move up to threaten our squad, and we're going to try to help our Tommies out. So we're going to take our 5 dice. 5 dice. Normally I need a 3. Let's check the range. We are just over, well, we're at 21.5 inches. So we're at long, so that'd be a 4. And we're in soft cover, so 5. We need a 5 or better to score a hit. We're really looking for that 1 pin to start the pin process. We got a 5. So 1-5, that'll score pin. So there we go, 1 German pin. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So we got our squad there. And our squad about to take the fire. And the machine gun team. So let's go ahead and these Germans here are going to go ahead and fire. So they've got a light machine gun. Light machine guns are normally 4 shots. The German special rule gives them an extra dice, so we'll use the light machine gun to be white. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifles that can shoot. The assault rifles would be out of range. So we're going to need 6 dice to represent the rifles. We use blue. I like to just kind of split them apart. Even if they end up with the same modifier, I like to know what it is, just for my own sake, because sometimes it's fun. So light machine gun rifles, the loader can't shoot. So we're going to check range. 12 is there, so it's going to be long range for the rifles. It's within 15, so it's in range. The light machine gun, nice little weapon to have in the squad. It says short. See that? 18 inches. So the light machine gun is normally going to need a 3. It has a movement penalty of 4. It has a hard cover modifier of 6. So it'll be hitting on 6s. Wait a minute. We got a pin on there. Thanks to that medium machine gun. So now we're hitting on 7s. The odds just went through the roof bad for the Germans for needing a 7. So I'm going to go throw them all together because everything's going to need, the rifles will actually need an 8. But anything is 6 or better needs super 6s. So that's a light machine gun shot. That would have normally been a hit. We would have took a pin and a potential casualty. But now we're only looking at a possible. So it's a possible. Need another 6. And no luck for the Germans. So you see that one little pin in this instance made a big difference. Now remember, the British are what, 30 points behind or more than the squads of the Germans. Did I roll to kill a German? I don't think I did. I'm going to do it. No, I needed a 5. Always don't forget to roll your 2 kills. Alright, so we're going to go to the next turn. Obviously we pick up all the order dice through the whole board, but we're just going to focus on these 3 squads. So obviously we have an advantage here, 2 to 1. For less points, more order dice. That to me is a nice trade. Now obviously this squad gets into close combat with us, or gets to where it wants to be, we're going to be in trouble because he's got assault rifles, he's veterans. So we don't want that to happen. But fortunately, we should be able to dictate, if this was repeated over and over and over again down the course of the board, we should have more order dice than this German player. And so we're going to just put these 3 dice in the bag. Now, as a British player, if you get the first order dice, I'll give you a second to think about what you would do. Many people, the majority of people, like to shoot, 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 shoot. Always think about what you're going to do when you get an order dice. Don't just reactively shoot. If the Germans went first and they just decided to fire, and then you pull the next one, you know, maybe, but then the order dice could go somewhere else on the board because it's no longer important. If they had another squad like right back here, it's going to change the dynamic because maybe you want to do something else. But in this situation, what are you going to do? If you're the German player, you're kind of stuck. What are you going to do? With 1 pin, now you're looking at having to make order check passes. There's really not much cover out here in this section. This machine gun team, this is where it becomes very valuable. They're now supporting this little squad. So what are you going to do? Fire at the machine gun team? This is going to need 7s to hit, especially if the machine gun team goes down, or just keep firing. That's why I got 150 points. We got no support unit. That's where it's important. You gotta have units working together. Even if you have a 150 point veteran unit, you should have something to assist to get that pin on from somewhere else, even if it's a sniper like we talked about before. But in this particular instance, they don't have that. So we're gonna pull these dice out of the bag. Just gonna shake them up, and we'll just pull one up. Black. So the Germans actually go first. So now the British, we know that we're going to be going next. But so the Germans, as a German player, Let's see, your veterans, we've only got one pin. This is our time to make something happen, because if we pass that order check and clear that pin, we're going to be firing with no penalty. So these Germans got a lot more firepower than these stupid British. We're going to go fire order. We're going to hope we pass this check. Normally need a 10, one pin 9. Oh crap. See that? 9 on 11. However, I am a full strength squad. So that is the one good thing about taking a full strength squad. Whenever you have a full strength squad, if you fail an order check, you get to retake it. Thank goodness that medium machine gun didn't pick one guy off on that 5 up to hit, or we would have been effing screwed. So here we go again. 9. That's exactly what we needed. 9. Pass. Thanks to full strength squad rule, and we're able to go ahead and execute our fire order that we intended to do. So the British player, you have to wait for him to announce his shot. The Germans are saying, well, we know we're at short range with our light machine gun here, and we are going to fire at this squad. So they declare their fire order. As a British player, you know what they need to hit already. You already checked the range from the last shot. You know the light machine gun's at short, is now not moving, so it's going to need a 5. 5 shots needing 5. It's probably going to need to score a hit. He's got multiple rifles needing probably 6s. So the British player, we're already outpointed by this guy. We're going to elect to go down. We're doing our job by holding up this more expensive squad from getting into our deployment zone and start threatening our mortars and different things like that. So, light machine gun normally needs a 3. Short range 4, hard cover 6, downward 7. 8 actually. Rifles normally 3, long range 4, down 6, hard cover 8. So light machine gun 7, rifles 8. So that's not good. Not good to be the German player here in this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's our light machine gun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifles. 11 shots needing supers. I think I did the math right. Oop, got a couple possibles here. 2. And nothing. So not even a pin on our brave British. So now we obviously know the next order dice is the medium machine gun. Medium machine gun is going to return the favor. It's going to fire 5 shots. Normally need a 3. Long range, we know, is 4. Soft cover 5. Nope, nothing. So if we could have got that hit, we could have checked for the pin, get rid of that small team. Now the key with this is to stall until you pull the first order dice. You could stall here forever. It's going to depend on what's happening on the board though. Or you're going to trigger this guy, the German player, into making an aggressive move on his order dice. So say we put the dice back in the bag, we go to the next turn, and we pull out a British dice. So we don't want to go closer to that guy. We may want to shoot, but we know we're at long range. So I'm going to go ambush. I'm going ambush with this squad. That way, if I can pull the next order dice, I can get ambush on this one. If he fires at me, I can go down. You can always switch an ambush dice to down. And then the medium machine gun doesn't get to fire on reacting to a fire order, but on a 4, 5, or 6, it can. Or we may just fire that medium machine gun and try to put that pin on there and make him do an order check. It's black. So it actually came out the best way, I think, for the British, because that leaves our medium machine gun team there to be able to shoot. If the medium machine gun team was also an ambush and he decides to come out, you could go down with this and trigger the ambush, or you can go ahead and go full Assade and fire. So this German player is tired of waiting around. He's got some assault rifles in there. He's going to try to get these guys in range. We're going to go advance order. We're coming out 6 inches. So, you know you're going to take a full squad of shots. You know you have more order dice than the German player because it's 2 to 1. You know he's better than you. So this is kind of a tricky call. He's pressing it up. If we fire, we're likely going to score a hit. We're likely going to put a pin on. That's going to cause him -1 shooting. Or we can go down, gives him -2 shooting, and then we, on our turn, fire our machine gun at these guys, try to get the pin, and then the next turn, pull the dice before him and get him while he's in the open. If he wants to go down, he can, but then we're freezing him again. So, they declare shot. on this ambushing. We haven't triggered an ambush, and we're going to decide we're not going to do that. I'm not going to trigger this ambush. I'm going to rely on the extra -1 to protect me for 1 turn, and I'm going to try to return fire. So I switch this to down when he declares his order. That's a gamble. I could have tried to fire. Let's just see for the sake of argument what I would have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rifles. We'll go with the blue dice. So just for the sake of argument, I would have needed 3s to hit. Because we know we're within 12. 3s to hit. Would have missed with only 1. But 5s to wound. Oh, I should have shot. I would have killed 4 guys with 2 exceptionals. But I didn't. Didn't. So, let's see what the Germans have. They have 5 shots with the light machine gun. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rifles. And then 2 assault rifles, which will fire after. So normally I need a 3, move 4, hard cover 6, down 8. Got 1 possible. No. The assault rifles, they're normally a 3. They don't take a movement penalty, but they're at long range, so I'm going to need over 6 as well. No possibles. Alright, so we would have theoretically done a lot of damage to the Germans, but we didn't. But we're hoping our medium machine gun does. And we're going to put that on a fire order. 5 shots. We'll go with these blue dice. They're on fire. 5 shots. Now we know we're at short range. We'll check it. Good habit to always check. We're at 16, so we're at short range. We're hitting on 3s. Oh! Oh, damn, man. Oh, the math when I have the video on, I'll tell you what. Nobody died, but we did put a pin on. Alright, so now this is obviously a very important turn. Because when we measure range, we know these Germans are within 12 inches. They're going to be able to charge us. This is not good. So we got to stop them right here. The good news is we spent 3 turns holding up a more expensive unit. And we potentially have these guys right where we want them, standing in the open. And we have taken no damage whatsoever. You know, another thing, if we pull the first dice, we theoretically could back up. If we had help coming, we could abandon that position and back up. But we're not going to do that. Ooh, white. I was hoping it'd be white. Alright, now it's time to let them have it. We could go into ambush here, because if they would declare a charge, we would get to fire at the ambush. But we're going to try to make these guys decide to go down or not, or we're going to get that second pin on, which is normally in shooting very important. In getting charged, not so much. Ooh, that pin could make a difference. But if we pile some pins on, they may fail an order check. Oh boy, guys. I'm going to protect my guys. I went protection last time. I'm going to put these dudes in ambush. That way at least I would get to shoot at him needing 2s to hit. Oh, should I do that? Oh, I may be making a mistake. Next dice, black. Oh, I was hoping to be the machine gun. Alright, so the Germans are going to charge. I probably got the worst example ever because the Germans are going to cream these guys. Alright, they need a 9. They got 8. They passed. Clear that pin. Come charging in. Now we're going to trigger our ambush 1 inch away. We're hitting on 2s. So this is our Michael Caine Zulu Dawn moment. We're going to need to do some damage. 3, 4, 5, 6 shots. Needing 2s. Come on. Alright. I need a good wound. Come on. None. Sean, ruining this demo. Alright, so we go to close combat. We go simul because we're defending the wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. And 10 shots with 2 tough fighters. So we go simul. I'm not going to dig all the dice out. So I'll do the British first. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go blue. Looking for 5s. I got 3 kills. So, with one of them being a possible exceptional, where I get to pick. Nope. So 3 riflemen will die. They get to attack though, because they're going simo. So we'll go, here's the 2 assault rifles, because they're tough fighters. And they have 9 other guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's going to be bad because they're British irregular. Needing 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So unfortunately I made the wrong decision. We're able to kill 3. They would wipe these guys out and they would reconsolidate. Then they'd probably stay behind this wall and our medium machine gun team would be shooting them on 5s. So that was a mistake, guys. But you can see through my example, when they were flat-footed here, I should have been more aggressive and poured the pins on them. I should have put the fire on them. You don't want to let a better unit in close combat get to you. And I was too passive. But you can see the power of using a machine gun team to work in tandem. Because if I would have took that roll I rolled, they would have dropped 4 dudes, put a second pin on. And I pulled the next one. I would have put 6 shots on. Maybe did another pin. A lot more likely than not, put another pin on. And then I would have they would have 2 pins on them. They would have been down. And then if they would charge in, then if I didn't get the machine gun in play. The other thing they may do is may get them to balk and go down. But anyway, so that's that. Stupid math, stupid dice. But anyway, so the other thing we're talking about on the channel was a machine gun team using like a truck, like a truck with a machine gun on it, or a half track. I don't really have a half track out. Well, I have my, I guess I have my, this is a little, well, it's about the same cost, my Ram Kangaroo. So you got a Kangaroo, and you leave it in reserve. I would leave it in reserve because you don't want them putting an anti-tank asset on the board. Find out a good spot on the board where it's safe. Drive it in. You know, you come in, and then you'll be able to spray your medium machine gun. And then when you start popping out 6 inches from the vehicle, you don't want to be lined up, if you can help it, right in front of it, because you're going to be blocking your machine gun from your Kangaroo. Oh, you can't see what I'm talking about. You don't want to be lined up in front of it because you'd be blocking the medium machine gun. So you come out and try to come out to the side. If theoretically you come up to a piece of train, hopefully, or into a piece of train that's close enough, come out your 6 inches, set up. Medium machine guns can't fire this turn. You came in fired with this one already because it can. And if you have multiple medium machine gun teams, like he was talking about with the Americans, you can really set up a nice little fire base really quickly. What would I do with that German medium machine gun? I don't know. I had a German one. Let's. I'm sure it's here somewhere. Here's a different one. Here's a one I made out of a light machine gun, and I put it on a large base, and I usually put an extra. I have another guy made up for it, so it makes it a 3-man team. Nobody's ever complained about that. So you don't want to be right in front of it. So when you move out, they're infantry, so they can move through whatever ground. They can run. So in the open ground, even if you ended up back here, you can run in the open ground because you can go 12-inch move. But you hop out in rough ground, you can only go 6 inches. Good Lord, I lost my freaking tape. There we go. Come out 6 inches. Set up shop. And then you got a nice little fire base already. So in this same scenario, we came up, we're looking at 190 points against about 160. That's because the armored car was so much. And then they come moving in. We couldn't really fire that turn. So say the medium machine gun came in after they had gone. They come in, they start shooting, blah blah blah, the same thing. Needing 7s to hit that medium machine gun team, either one in hard cover this turn. The other thing too is those medium machine guns are protecting that transport from being the closest enemy. You don't ever want that enemy to get too close to an empty transport or you'll run away at the end of the turn. So then we trigger that same thing. So now we got actually 3 order dice to 1, which increases our odds of getting the dice the way we want anyway. 1, 2, 3 to 1. We'll make the Germans be white this time. So we start turn 2. A nice little spot there. The Germans can't even hurt that armored car other than put a pin on it. And the machine gun teams are in good spots. So we go black, and we're going to actually just fire. We want him to decide if he's going to go down. He's not. We're going to go ahead and fire 5 shots. 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally need a 3. Range from there. Short. So soft cover 4. Got 2 hits. Killing on a 5. Nobody died. I'm horrible at killing veterans, by the way. Next dice. Black. This machine gun team, we're going to save our vehicle to go last because we may want it to go somewhere else. And we're going to fire with this bad boy. It's going to be the same thing. Using 4s. Depending on how you play that terrain piece. So 1 hit only. It sucks, but we got the important pin. Didn't kill anybody. So now, shoot, Germans already got 2 pins on them. You can see, you know, we came up here with really not much. The one nice thing about doing this deployment in a vehicle like that is that we already know, because especially if you come in from reserve, or you could also do it like hidden behind a building so an anti-tank asset didn't get you, but they'd probably deploy one nearby it or something to try to knock it out. If you came in from a reserve on the turn 2 or whatever, you can avoid that stuff. So now it's German. The Germans, what are you going to do? Rally? Fire? Might as well be hitting that on a 6 this turn with the light machine gun. It's not a really good spot for these Germans to be. They're going to try to, actually they're hitting on 7s because they have 2 pins. So you can see real quickly, even if they would clear a pin, short range, normally a 3, pin 4, hard cover 6. Yeah, so the light machine gun, if it's at short, which we know it is normally a 3, pin 4, hard cover 6. Everybody else would be 7s. So they'll try to do a fire order, pass order check. 9 does not because they have 2 pins. They are full strength squad. 8, which does pass. They go to 1 pin. They're going to go ahead and start firing on that medium machine gun. They need 6s. And the only thing in range of 6s is a light machine gun. It does get 6 shots. Mathematically, it should get a hit. It does get 1 hit. Kills on a 4. Nope, but it took a pin. And the rifles we need supers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's 6, maybe 5 rifles. 6. Not even possible. And the last dice is a truck. We want to get that into short range, so we'll go ahead and just move it up here. And we're going to be hitting on normally 3, movement 4, soft cover 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. Got 2 hits. Knocks that pin back up to 2. And nobody died. I haven't killed a vet in either one of these demos yet. So, but now we're looking at 2 pins on these Germans. And now we're not going to be moving up to get anywhere near that. So we're kind of spending our points to keep them frozen in place. Which, if this is his list and he's got 2 veteran 10-man squads or 3 veteran 10-man squads, and at least you have 1 that's frozen on the corner of the board and ain't going anywhere. If there's an objective or something in here, or trying to get into your deployment zone, you've got it locked up for almost equal points. You could take a cheaper transport. I think half tracks are about the same cost. They might be a little cheaper. A truck is an option as well with a medium machine gun on it, but trucks are a little more vulnerable. Not so much to the infantry. You have to roll in the damage chart and everything, but they can be popped, and they are definitely more vulnerable to some like anti-tank fire. But anywho, that's my little demo. Hopefully it made sense and it wasn't too bad. I just had those thoughts in my head. I wanted to address them. But good luck with your medium machine gun teams out there. I am painting my Chindit. Well, it's a Gurkha one for my Burma army. And I will see you soon.